Oh yes, oh
and
yes.
seize people assets and seize the computer and seize this and seize that.
Oh yes, 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 yes.
Now we have a situation where almost 3 point something billion dollars is unaccounted for, and we hear nothing about the fraud squad seizing government property to find out what it is really taking place. Because I want to say it clear, you know. It shall be to say it clear that the People's National Movement is a pedophile. The leader.
Yes.
I want to say it clear. They were stealing taxpayers' money. And they catch them red-handed. And up to now, the police has not intervened, which is the fraud squad that is,
yes,
to find out what it is taking place. This is taxpayers' money.
Right.
This is not the Prime Minister money. This is not the Minister of Finance money. This is the people's money, the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So I wanted to know if the fraud squad on the road giving tickets with the roadblock, if the fraud squad giving tickets and the put them on the road to give tickets, because based on my information, Earl Herwood Christopher put a handle to her name, would be the commissioner that going down in the Guinness Book of Record of the commissioner of tickets.
Well said, well said. We have, of course, we have
no success rate on what it is, the roadblocks on the road. What is the success rate on the roadblock that's taking place? We have roadblock every 2 minutes of the day. And we have no success rate. We ain't hearing the holding criminals. We ain't hearing the guy bashment of guns, because the guns moving from pillar to post. We ain't hearing nothing. All we hearing is a lot of innocent citizens getting unwanted tickets, which is making money, a tax revenue to build, to help pay the bills, because remember the loss for ideas. So I just wanted to throw my 2 cents into it. I'm watching what is taking place. I understand. I listened to the Monday night report last night, which was very educational, because I learned a lot. I get to know a lot that is taking place in my country, always. It just had a little more to it last night.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to know, where is the fraud squad in all of this? This is not no $10 or no $3. This is 3 point something billion dollars.
Yes,
so that's just my view for now, until I call you again.
Well, of course, I can't complain with your views, and I can't complain with what you have asserted, simply because they are the gospel truth, and the truth will always set you free. And for those who would like us to not accept that, is a stubborn thing, and you can't get rid of it. So, but let's go straight to the line again. And let me just go to, of course, our good friend. Plus, good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Good night, Lennox. Here, brother.
Yes, good night to you as well, my friend.
Lennox, the guy just asked where is the fraud squad and all of this.
Yes.
I want to ask something, Lennox. Where is the governor of the central bank in all of this? Because anything as it relates to finances, have the treasury have a role to play in it, not so, Lennox?
Of course, of course.
We're not hearing anything coming from this. But what I watch in news tonight, and it make me laugh. Call members say now that they have set up a committee headed by a retired judge.
Yeah, they say that tonight, boy. I tell you, it's a set of lunatics that has assembled themselves for government and purported to be government in this country. But go ahead.
What are you going to investigate when you have produced no evidence, no records of anything of the money missing? Where you just commit to say you set up an independent committee headed by retired
It
judges.
is theatrics. It is theater for them. It is deception. It is deflection. It is attempt, of course, to hoodwink and to deceive. That's all this is about. They are so predictable that one could have told them to tell the entire nation and the world that is what is going to happen.
And you know what he said too, Lennox?
Yes.
They bring in some IT experts, I think from Norway. What the hell that will do to this situation?
Let me
when
tell you what
have
they're
no
doing. What they're
evidence of
doing.
proof
The
nothing?
intention is to show that there was a glitch with respect, of course, to that, let's say, computer or that software that they have referred to. That's what that is all about, and will spend a tremendous amount of money to accomplish that nonsense when they should be focusing, of course, on those children and trying to get them into school, stay in school, and not, of course, engage in crime and criminality. But go ahead.
Why did it have to go by Norway? When you have a minister here, I forget his name, the Minister of Digital Transformation, Bacchus.
Yes.
When you could get an opinion from him, because he's the expert in that, and that's the man who introducing the new technology and whatnot.
Yeah, well, the idea is to develop a phantasmagorical story, something that is so unbelievable that you wouldn't believe that these fellas could concoct that. That is how serious it is, and that is how dangerous these fellas are, and that is how they are prepared, of course, to be as profligate as possible in order to remain in office, to continue to do us evil, and to engage, of course, in a collapsing of the economy. Go ahead.
Because the fact remains, you have no proof to show nothing.
Yes.
That one would have expected.
So that all of that is part of the shenanigans, is a charade.
Now,
yes, go ahead.
Let me get to the next issue, Lennox.
Yes, go ahead.
This issue with this firearm user's license. You remember a certain individual said it is not his job to protect the lives of citizens of this country?
Yes, that's the Minister of National Security. I understand they call him insecurity now, and at the same time, he's also called the second Minister of Debt. Go ahead.
That's one. You remember there was another individual who's the head of the Security Council who said that no citizen is entitled to a firearm by law. It is not in the Constitution. You remember when Rowley said that, Lennox?
Yes, definitely and distinctly, yes.
Right. Now, why I'm showing you, this is why you see they appoint electorate. For you is the Commissioner of Police, charged with the responsibility to granting firearm user's license. Now, you agreeing. This is a new thing because when Rowley said the seminar, the symposium they had on crime, and some of the things that was recommended, they implemented it and whatnot. I wonder if this is one of the things that they authorize you to do, to remove the responsibility of the granting of firearm license by the Commissioner of Police. Because why I am saying this, Lennox, they're trying to get at Gary Griffith for the issuance of firearm user license. This is what they're trying to do. But in addition to that, you remember there were so much people who took legal action, court action against the Commissioner of Police, Lennox?
Yeah.
Right. And has won the case because just recently there was one where the Justice Sipasad, I think Frank Sipasad, passed judgment on it and Rowley attacking. But the point is that in order for them to remove people suing the state or suing the Commissioner of Police and the state, they decide to set up a board so that you cannot take legal action. I don't know if that is possible against a board. So in other words, you're removing.
Yeah, you have things like judicial review. You can, but I think what you really want to do is to remove it as if you're doing something.
And then
I should say transitional, but I would say fantastic, where you put it in the hands of a committee that with all of the powers that the commissioner would have had to investigate. I don't know how that operating, because they will still need the police to investigate these people if they will have their own police service and all of that. But it is typical of this government. They simply engage in shambolic policies and programs that doesn't make sense. But go ahead.
Now, the legal action that could be taken against the Commissioner of Police, and she could be charged for misbehavior in public office. Therefore, if you put an independent, so-called independent, who you, the PNM, appoint a committee, they cannot be charged for misbehavior in public office. And I don't know if they could sue them. But this is the whole cover-up to remove the suing, the legal action against the Commissioner of Police by putting this board. And I want to know, these stooges and them, if these people and them have no shame, know it fully well up front that they are putting them there and they are accepting that position, knowing fully well they don't have no teeth. They cannot do anything unless they go operate by the right directive of the PNM government. You understand?
Yes.
And these 10 of them, boy, it's shameful to tell you how these people will sell.
It is harrowing. I mean, it is to the point of ad nauseum. It's sickening. And these people have the belly, the gall to come in our faces and hold press conferences and so on, only because of the office that they hold. Nobody has any respect for them. They don't know that by now. But go ahead, my friend. Yes.
They just want the position and the money that go with it. But the responsibility to take in the decision that is required, they don't want that. So therefore they will operate.
You're quite right, Mr. Tonpuna. It's clear.
So, Lennox, you take care, my brother, but
yes,
it just goes to show you we're in a terrible place for Lennox.
Yeah, of course. I think terrible is an understatement at this point in time. Thank you very much, of course, for your contribution. Let me say he started by asking the question, where is the fraud squad in all of this? Well, the answer, that's a rhetorical question by now for those of you who have been observing. The fraud squad doesn't exist in this case because the PNM is in government. A corrupt group of miscreants who have captured government and weaponized it against the people. Its toxicity has no boundary. Understand? The reason why the fraud squad is not involved as yet is because there must be another administration, in other words, the Kamala Prasad-Bissessa UNC administration that has to come into office by 2025 maximum. It's only then the fraud squad will come in. It is a bunch of individuals who say, according to Rowley, that they are a mafia syndicate and that they kill politically anybody that squeals, that spills the beans. So why the question is a well-placed one, it is certainly must be qualified as rhetorical because the answer and the evidence is built in to the question itself. Why? The fraud squad has not been involved with respect to the question relating and surrounding the Auditor General and the conduct of the minister. And of course, because they have access to still to our dwindling treasury, they are going to do and deflect and derail as quick as they can and as not just expeditious, but as expensive as it could get in order to sanitize themselves. But what they would have, of course, achieved is further destruction, self-destruction, imploding, exploding, and the population knowing more and more as to the level of evil that this group of individuals are capable of manifesting with our monies and our resources and the privileges that we would have given them. A pleasant good night. Welcome. Welcome to the corridor. Pleasant good night. Pleasant good night. Welcome.
Hey, Lennox Smith. Pleasant good night to you and everybody on the line.
Yes.
So I hear you talking a while ago when the government changed the fraud squad, I think to use themselves to deal with the situation at hand with this PNM government. But before Kamala do all that, you see all them PNM appointee that Rowley appoint to be the head of this and the head of that, you have to get rid of all of them first and put independent people. Not dependent people who depend on the PNM to wait for the PNM head to push them around. Independent people. Right, that is one. Two, you see the evidence I wanted was to get with the Alsing and the Couva Hospital, and we moved the equipment from Couva Hospital to the right. Watch out. You see, these people they will believe in the PNM, and I will say it from time and time and time again, something is wrong with them spiritually. Lennox, you know, I play that thing for the head nurse in the point for working in the point for the hospital. I play that thing for that woman, and that woman still denying that Dial Singh didn't do what he said he do in the video. You know, I play the thing for the woman. But I want somebody to investigate this thing, Lennox.
Go ahead.
You see the woman who did the testimony and the gun report about his son where he had the cancer and stuff.
Yeah. I think he has died recently.
Right. Well, just tonight they announced to that young lady. I didn't know her personally, but I didn't know her because her relative they bring her in the church to the pastor was to pray for her. And I hear tonight that she died from cancer. But while hearing the doctors and them saying that she didn't have this and she didn't have that, and who said she had this and she didn't have that. So when I hear people saying all these things in my cast, so I tell my old lady, I say, what that song like? I said song like the same testimony where the woman given the ground report. Lennox, something is wrong with the health sector. Because in point 40 here, they have a set of equipment here, but they're not using. They're not hiring people to use the equipment, and they're not training nobody to use the equipment. They just have them equipment and them sit down there doing nothing. Somebody need to investigate this point for that hospital because they have equipment there, but they're not using, and they're just sitting down there. And next minute they were here, it end up in somebody private practice. But this thing with Rowley, anyhow, where Rowley? Because I ain't hearing him, I ain't seen him. Where Rowley?
That is the strategy. That's the strategy. They generate an abstract tag system or tag strategy. When one is under fire, they go in the background and remain silent. They get pipped, and another one comes forward in order. You see, Young trying to tell us that we got back some money with respect, of course, to the oil spill. A poor attempt, of course, to deflect attention away from the substantive issue of the Auditor General, which, of course, we will be highlighting on Thursday from 1 o'clock at the Brian Lara Promenade. We will be assembling in order, of course, to take a letter to the Auditor General indicating our sympathy, our empathy, and our support for the stance that you would have taken against this maroon bunch of opportunistic political parasites. But go ahead, my friend.
So Lennox, by the end of the day, you know what it is bothering me? You're bringing the evidence and it's showing this PNM sycophant, PNM mites, what the PNM cult leader, Christopher Lucifer Rowley doing to them. And they still want to turn a blind eye to it, and then want to turn around now and blame Kamala for Rowley downfall. Dr. Anderson.
Yes, indeed. Well, conclusion, my friend. Conclusion. There is none as blind as he or she who refuses to see. Let me repeat. There is none as blind as he or she who refuses to see. They refuse to see. They conscientiously refuse to see. But there's another saying as well. There's another saying. And that is that there are those who are in a state of perpetual denial when the reality is abounding and in front of them. Yeah, they don't want to face reality. Why? Because they have concluded that no matter what anybody says, but there's another saying that says that even the devil has its followers. So don't be perturbed. That is a dying minority that you were referring to there. You can't redeem them, and they cannot, of course, help themselves. That is how stupefied they have become, and how I should say robot-like or zombie-like, to use, of course, a evil spiritual expression. Professor, good night. Welcome.
Good night, Mr. Lennox. To the
Yes.
caller that now come off the line there.
Yes.
I just want to tell him something. PNM people do not listen to understand. They listen to reply.
Yes, that's a reality. Well, of course, the caller called to reinforce what I just said, very succinctly, but it is a fact that there are those who must be followers of evil. But thank God they are in the minority, vast minority, simply because evil cannot and must not prevail over good. And I say majority here in terms of numbers, because even the results of the local government elections tells you what, 60,000 persons or thereabout voted more, 68,000 persons more voted for the UNC and the NTA combination as opposed to that of the PNM. It's clear, writing is on the wall. And I reference that merely to show that there's a numerical difference, because it is about that. And of course, while the election is about numbers, both in terms of constituency and in terms of amount of constituency that one can bring under its wings in terms of a victory, nonetheless, it is about numbers. So let's not waste time. But to conclude, there are those who will not and refuse to accept that the PNM is evil, that Rowley is wicked, dangerous, even though they are seeing it around them and they are wallowing in that, and they are prepared to wallow in that cesspool of iniquities. So let's not waste time with that. Of course, I want to say formally a pleasant good night to all and sundry, East, West, North, South, Central, our friends in Tobago, and wherever you are streaming on the World Wide Web, a pleasant good day to you. Yes, indeed, of course, people just started to bombard, and therefore I had to respond appropriately. But now that I've gotten some breathing space, I can, of course, formally, of course, exhibit my salutations for tonight. And, of course, to say that, of course, the night before, and of course on the ground report, we have been, of course, promoting and insisting that as much as of you that can make it. Then, of course, on Thursday from 1 o'clock, we assemble at the Brianara Promenade opposite the Express House. Can't miss it. It is not too far from the Catholic Cathedral. And, of course, we are going to make our way westwards towards Tower C, where the office of the woman who has, of course, demonstrated breasticular and other qualities of resilience to a government that clearly has coalesced into a criminal enterprise, and believe that it can dominate and hoodwink and deceive and tell people what they want because they want it so. Why they mismanage our resources. And in this case, of course, the Auditor General has said in no uncertain terms, and of course, not just qualify it, but demonstrate that they cannot account for $700 million, even though they started off with the inability to account for $3 billion. It turned out that they were able to, of course, show justification for 2 point something. And now we are hearing tonight that some phantasmagorical story that they are going to, of course, project it to the population. And it is clear they are so damn desperate. They are so damn uncertain that they will, of course, empty the treasury by profligate, wasteful, irrelevant, superfluous, and superficial gestures to give themselves relevance. And somehow they believe that they can sanitize themselves when, of course, all around and within and under and above, it's only putrid, stink with corruption, nepotism, cronyism, and power mongering. They have come to the end, and we must ensure that when we go to the polls on the next occasion. Let's go straight, of course, to this caller. Our President, good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Hello, good night.
Good night.
I'm calling from San Fernando.
Yes, good night, San Fernando.
Listen to this.
Yes.
You see that picture you have in the background? I mean, the bar's moving, right? But when it reach there, just keep it right there.
Close.
Just lock it right there. Just lock it right there. Keep showing the lock one. That's where Mr. Rowley should be.
I hear you. There's another one coming up in the background. You will see that one. Yeah. You guys not here alone. Yes.
And I just calling to tell the caller I called before.
Yes.
Right? You can't really convince a PNM who's saying that I will die a PNM. You can't really convince them.
Exactly. Yes. But they are dying breed anyway. So they are dying breed anyway. They are becoming extinct. So they will, of course, dissipate ultimately.
Yeah. All right. I'll call you again.
Yes. Okay then. Thank you very much. Yes, indeed. People are, as I said, they have realized those who are in a state of recalcitrance, in a state of denial, you can't help them. Let's only hope that they are not part of the government, whether the kitchen cabinet or the direct cabinet that Rowley superintends, because it's certain jail for all of them. Blue lights and silver bracelets. You see, fellas are like Apron Brown and them will not like us to speak in this way, whilst they will laud by remaining silent at minimum. Rowley making similar statements about the UNC and its leader and the members of the and the upper echelons of the UNC. But they have a self-righteous indignation when people like myself and others see them for who they are and have divest them and see them naked with impurities unlimited, people. Yes, and of course we must say to them, Rowley and his cohorts, that what? That of course they have us, but they must be living in jail because they want us to live in jail.
Moving wrong like if we shot.
have to go to jail, come, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go to jail. Yes, indeed. He said that if you're ready, if you have to go to jail, listen to him. Come, I'm ready to go. If I have to go to jail, come, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go to jail. Yes, indeed. Listen again. He's conscious. Yeah. If I have to go to jail, come, I'm ready to go. Come, I'm ready to go. If I have to go to jail, come, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Believing, of course, that he wouldn't go to jail. Bluff, coward that he is. That is his destiny. Must a rookie investigator will unfold sufficient evidence for that inevitable. Let him cry wolf. Let him cry wolf. If I have to go to jail, come, I'm ready to go. Come, I'm ready to go. If I have to go to jail, come, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go to jail. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. The writing is on the wall. Just a matter of time. Just a matter of time, people. Yes, indeed.
And criminals out on bail, honest men catching their tail in the old jail. You can't walk the streets no more, you afraid to open the door like we fighting war.
If I have to go to jail, come, I'm ready to go. Come, I'm ready to go. Let's go to, if I have to go to jail, just make sure and take off the background music. I'm ready to go to jail. Pleasant good night. Welcome. Let me just take off the audio on Dr. Rowley's confession that he's ready to go to jail. He's ready to go to jail. Yes, indeed. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead, caller.
Okay, good night, Lennox. How are you doing tonight?
Well, of course, I'm bubbling with excitement. Thursday
Yeah,
is upon us, yes, and I'm convinced that this government has not just collapsed; it has crumbled, and it has no shame to be, of course, still holding cabinet meetings when they should be getting ready to exit the various offices that they hold at this time. Unmeritorious.
I think they're getting around together and thinking how much they could get away with by thieving and stealing. And I believe it's all in the procurement contracts. So Lennox, let me ask you something now. I wasn't here when Kamala was Prime Minister, right? But when Kamala was Prime Minister, did social service and all these agencies function like up to date? Could you go in and access services and get it done, and you could move around fast, and all the roads were really good, and yeah, all those things? Was it like that? Did you live here?
Yes, of course.
It was.
I relished those
Yeah.
efficacious moments.
I live in Madras
Yes.
Road.
Yes.
I live in Madras Road, and there's a road called Gillis Road, and there's a company, Ramhit and Son, they built a big place there. And there's a pavement, and there are no houses there. And you walk on the pavement, and halfway it's just a dump. Dead bodies are there, garbage, filth. And that road is so important that it goes right into Kunupia, which is a shortcut that if the road was fixed, it could alleviate a lot of congestion in Madras Road and Kelly.
Okay.
But that road is now crumbled to pieces, like you see how the government system crumbled. That road
Like
has
the
potholes
government.
like
Yes.
craters.
Good analogy. Well, go ahead.
You know, yeah, the
Yes.
road is real bad. You can't drive. And if you're a woman with children, well, forget it. If you're on that road, you risk dying because no cars are on that road. And if you get stuck on that road, well, you're taking a risk. And there's no signs. You need to post signs saying this road is dangerous. Women and children beware. or taxis beware. But anyway, Lennox, aside from that, right? You know, when I look at the results, I was reading about the results about the last election for 2020, and the UNC, the PNM won by a vote by what was it, 53%, and the UNC had 44%. That is the PNM really have to scramble to win this election by the skin of their teeth. And I say that because they're going to rely, hopefully, on government workers, which makes up 83,000 people who work for government. We got 53,000 people working on a monthly salary. We got 4,000 working for some statutory authority. They're officers. Then you got 26,000 day laborers. 26,000 guys working. That working because you know that big powder mill, whatever powder place there that had that big shootout. One of the family members said that it had to do with a contract for drainage or for CPEP or one of them contract, and she said that is what it was about. So a gang is angry about somebody else getting a contract and they pissed off. You see, that is the PNM tactic. That is their style. They don't know how to be moral or what ethics mean. And they will lie. And the biggest liar is Faris Alwari. His kids don't go to the University of the West Indies. His kids go to Ireland and abroad. They'll never go to medical school here. Just like that woman who has that facial makeup and she had it from a Syrian guy who made it in America. And then she was suing Pennywise because she's the only person who should sell this crap. You know, come on. These people don't love this country. They study abroad. I studied abroad, but I lived there for 45 years. And my parents refused to leave Trinidad. They love it so much. But they wanted us to all come back. And when you come back, it's a big shock to you because you're coming back now to a third world country from a first world. So these people who travel abroad, these Syrian people like Haris Alwari, his children, when them come back, they don't come back to poverty, you know. When them come back, they're coming back to first class lifestyle. Jets and airplanes, private cars, security. When they go over there, well, they're nobody. Nobody gives a damn about them. When they come here, they live in the life. And they get the best jobs, like the South guys. They own Ansa McCall. Ansa McCall is publicly traded. But all of those kids, all of those families use that position to their benefits. And nobody says nothing. What skills do they bring to these businesses? It's the consumer who buy it. We buy more rum than anybody else. And we made ANSA, which owns 100 subsidiaries in the Caribbean. Where are we going to shop? Or are we going to go to Bago and sing? Come on, people. You see, this is the creation of the PNM. And they want to make us live like dogs, but 44% of the population see the lies. We just need another like 20 or 10% that we're good. And we will get that. Because people are fed up and the PNM cannot give out too many gifts and hampers. By the way, Lennox, did you get your permit to go on this rally thing, this march? Because if you didn't, the police will come right away.
No, there's no permit needed. Is a public assembly. The law is
a public
clear.
Assembly, and you're gonna pray, right? Everybody's gonna pray, right? You gotta pray because it'll help.
No.
You know?
There is no need. There is no need for that either. Is a
okay,
public.
We don't need that.
Is
all
a
right.
public place, a public assembly. If you are marching, then of course you have to get permission. The law is clear.
All right, then this is beautiful. Then this is beautiful and it's safe. And maybe
So
some
we are not
vendors should
marching
come
as
around there and
such.
sell.
We are walking towards the. When we finish there, assembly, speaking, and so on, we walk to, of course, the office of the Auditor General. To of course deliver.
So when you're
a letter.
walking towards the office of the
Well,
general,
the police.
is
The
that going to be a
police.
march or
No,
a
it's
walk?
not. No, it's a
So
walk.
when the police will come.
It's a walk. No, it's a walk. The police will be there, obviously, to conduct traffic, etc. That is their duty. And of course, in case there is a breach of the peace, we don't expect that. We will be very peaceful, as we have done prior to this one. We did it, of course, for the very commissioner of police, the DPP as well as, of course, when we delivered a letter to the EBC, the Elections and Boundaries Commission. So we are very versed. We are very organized, and we will have
I think you should.
our
I think
way.
you should tell. I try to do a live channel on that whole thing. You'll get
Yes,
viewers
we'll
and
try.
support.
I will try to have the corridor at least cover the entire exercise.
Yeah,
So
from
look
the
forward to that.
speaking
Yes.
to from the assembly to the walk
Yes.
to the delivering that letter. And I'll
Yes.
tell you something. You'll get viewers. People want. A lot of people are afraid to get out because of crime. You
Yes,
leave your
yes.
house and the house getting robbed.
We are very
All right.
conscious of that. Yes, we have, of course,
All right.
ministers now being called ministers of death. We have, of course, Hines. We have the assassin, and in fact, the entire cabinet can be considered to be conspirators in that regard, because we had, of course, COVID. That of course delivered a tremendous amount of deaths when they told us that that will not happen.
All of those people are unskilled for the jobs that they have. Unskilled.
Yeah,
And what they
obviously.
do, yeah, and they're robbing you poor people.
Opportunistic
that's what
political
I'm telling
parasites.
you.
Yeah,
All right,
they are.
let me let other people. Let me let other
Yes,
people call, because it's not me
I
and
could
you
talk
alone.
with you whole day, but we have more. We
Yes,
have more.
let's
Yes,
respect
indeed. Of
that.
course, let's go
Okay,
straight
good
to
night, Leonard.
Tobago. Tobago. Thank you for holding on. Go ahead.
Yes, let me go.
Yes.
This is Silver Fox here.
Yes. Go ahead, Silver Fox.
Lennox, we have to come to reality.
Yes.
PNM have their own president. Rowley could say he ready to go to jail. But when the time comes, if we don't put them out of office, Rowley will be escaping from every single charges he has. Because they is in charge. I just fed up getting up in the morning and ruling under PNM. They know the people of Trinidad and Tobago is frustrated, and yet they wouldn't call election.
Yeah, boy.
Right?
Them is hard-hearted people. Them
people
wicked
can't
for
take it
spite.
no more.
Yeah.
People reach a boiling point, and they're not calling election. The ugly fella always in the face when the day come. The PNM system is a vampire. They're deceiving the people continually day by day, and people falling for it. Don't care what Rowley say. You hear the clapping, this and that. It's time to call election and set the people of God free. God people want to be free. We cannot take no more of this. We cannot live like this. We are living an uncomfortable life in this Trinidad and Tobago. There was a time we were so happy that when I remember they used to sing a tune in Tobago, "Welcome to Robinson Crusoe. It's a paradise." Not again. Since Rowley come in power, everything changed. That fella come to mash up this country and he mashing it up. Just imagine children all over the world in university, them going on strike. And we have big people facing all this problem. We can't get nothing to eat. We can't get no job. We can't get nothing. And we sitting down there. We eyes are open, but still we're not seeing. Why we not seeing? What kind of pressure more we can take? Only bill and bill. Anytime a poor man do something wrong, anytime a poor man do something wrong, you're getting fraud squad. When the PNM do something wrong, the high people and them, you're getting a private investigation. They're getting their own people to investigate.
Or no investigation.
Or
no investigation. Or bogus camouflage one, yes.
Why the police is only for poor people? Why the police is only for people who cannot help themselves? What is money in this world? All the money you're getting in this world, it will go to nothing. Right? You cannot gain the world and lose your soul because you are next to nothing. We are dirt. We're born in dirt. We come from dirt. And we looking up to these kind of people. Why? Trinidad and Tobago. It is time. We're suffering too much. Oh, you know that. No peace, and we have to get peace. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Emotional.
Out of control. Come. And it's not that the times are so hard. I have to go to jail. Come. I ready to go. I ready to go. I ready to go to jail. Obama that garden in your yard. We living in jail. We living in jail. Look, even the old and frail beg mercy to no avail. It's a sad, sad tale. Your TV and videotape, they take and before
President, good night. Welcome indeed. Welcome. President, good night.
Good night, Lennox. How are you going, boy?
Well, of course, as could be in this circumstance. Only priming up for Thursday.
Lennox?
Yeah.
You could ask a question there. You want the election now.
Yes.
I want to this opposition ready for election. Because it seems to be there in fighting inside of the party. They release 5 dissidents. I don't know if they could feel a good, a good group of people with regards to that. People watching them cookie, I know.
But I see this as almost par for the course. I expected, I'm going to put it another way, I am not surprised as to what is happening. But at the end of the day, the elections, whether, if it is called, the UNC will be ready. It's clear that they have gone on with, let's say, activities that as if those dissidents never exist. Why? Because they know that the party structure and the party constitution will take care of that ultimately. We had Ramona, we had the great Jack Warner, we had the great, what I consider to be legal luminary, and probably Destin, that's right, Ramesh Maharaj, that's right, that's the man I was looking for. And we can go on and on, Suraj Rambachan. I mean, come on. But I am not going to give that much what I consider to be oxygen. That anytime people give that oxygen, it's really you're playing to a PNM agenda. When you see the PNM thumping their desk for Rambali when he got up to talk, what do you think that suggests? Of course, and when asked a direct question about that particular incident of thumping the desk for Rambali when he stood up to speak on one occasion in the parliament, the Prime Minister will tell you that we have nothing to do with the internal affairs of the UNC. I mean, hogwash. And the theatrics is so conspicuous, is so absurd, is so ridiculous that they are making an ass of themselves, talking about the PNM, pretending to be what is not. Everybody knows what they are about, and therefore I am not going to be lured into, of course, that kind of this discussion on what is taking place. That is superficial, superfluous. The party itself is gearing for the elections. Nomination papers are in. They have a period to cut off. There will be, of course, screening to take place. And then, of course, if an election is called, whether now or just now, they are ready. And they're ready in themselves. Irregardless, it is not conditioned on whether or not there is, of course, internal elections. That's for sure. If an election should call now, do you think that they can have internal elections? No, they can't. They will have to go with the team that they have now. So I'm not perturbed. The thing is fluid. Go ahead. Yes.
A quick question. Do you see these 5 dissidents come back in the party at any time?
The what?
You seeing these 5 dissidents coming back into the party at this time?
No, I'm not seeing them coming back in. The intention was not laudable. The intention was not genuine. How could you call for an election that is several months away, suggesting that somehow that election that is several months away will not be called? And at the same time, whether subliminally or directly, as in the case of Charles, the representative for Naparima, directly assaulted verbally, of course, the political leader by saying that it's time to go. She is almost an octogenarian. So, but at the same time, none of them have offered any alternative to their true agenda, which is, of course, to attack Kamala Persad-Bissessar really, and to, of course, attempt to displace her by this roundabout circumlocutive act that they have committed. So I will be very dismissive of them. And that is my view. You may have a different view.
All right, let us give her a minute because you
go ahead, because I have Miss Santa Cruz on the line. Go ahead.
Lennox.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, Ms. Santa Cruz, go on. Hold on a little while. I have another caller that I want to conclude on the handset. Go ahead.
Yeah, because Lennox.
Yes.
During the period about 5-6 years ago, how long it took a bank to make $1 billion for the year in profits?
Well, of course, the banks here have been making $1 billion, or you say, or $1 million? Which one?
$1 billion.
$1 billion? $1 billion, you say? $1 billion? $1 billion, you say? Billion or million? M or B?
$1 billion.
$1 billion, okay.
B,
right, okay. Well, I know about the hundreds of millions, but regularly, annually. But of course, in terms of $1 billion, I have had no bank, being as fortunate as that. Yeah.
You wouldn't believe you said after tax
Talk
profits $1 billion.
If what?
After tax profits is making $1.1 billion.
Okay, right.
So $8 billion for last year.
But yeah, okay, that sounds logical.
I'm just going to show. On the public and this man who is the Minister of Finance.
The consumers of banking system. I agree.
Let me go. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you. President Mr. Santa Cruz, our external correspondent. Go ahead.
Good night, Lennox. Good night to you and to everybody. Lennox, they must make billions because every month they take it from poor pensioners, right? To what? For maintenance. What are they maintaining, Lennox? They're not even giving you a statement again. They don't even treat you good when you go to the bank. You have to stand up in all that hot sun, right? No proper facilities or anything for the people. But you see, they can take our money and invest it and make billions, and we are not getting anything in return. Lennox, and now, your last caller asked a question, and I love how you answered. There's no way those 5 dissidents going back there. I don't know why they waste their time for nomination. They should have done like Victor Roberts and don't file no nomination papers. Because Victor Roberts killed his political career. And not only did he kill his own, he killed his daughter own as well. I am saying that big and bold. He was a man that I used to admire. And from the day he was made an older man, he got wings and he started to fly. Yeah, he got wings and started to fly. I'll never forget that last conversation I had with him right after the local government elections, right? Where he was crowing. He was crowing that his daughter made inroads in Palisade. I think it was Erin around there. So I called him. I said, are you proud that she made? He said, yes, of course I'm proud. I said, so then Mrs. Persad-Bissessar should feel proud that she made inroads in every regional corporation. He couldn't answer. And I am telling you, all of them killed their political career. All of them.
Yes, we'll have a separate discussion on Victor. Because as many of you may not know, but it was a ground report, and I in particular, who of course saw the potential in Victor Roberts, and we really worked on him and convinced him.
Yes.
And at the end of the day,
Lennox, I was proud of him.
At minimum, I thought that he would have, of course, at least consulted us when he began or entered this journey towards, of course, the reversal, and to go back to infancy. That's what it has to be. There's no other way to describe it. He's gone back to infancy. He grew, and the first person I know has gone back, has retrogressed to infancy. But that's it. He's a big man, and he took the decision, and therefore he has to
suffer the consequences.
Stand the consequences, yes.
Lennox, you said he going back to infancy. I say he going in the political cemetery. Lady Gypsy, make room for him in the political cemetery.
I'm trying to be generous to those who believe.
You're trying to be nice, yes.
In
Lennox, let me tell you something, eh?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, eh? I was so proud of that man. I would have gone anywhere and support Victor Roberts. Imagine I walk from around West Savannah to Woodford Square with this man with the crime watch. Right? Lennox, especially when he was made an older man, I was so proud, but he really disappointed me. And I find Mrs. Prasad-Bissessar should put the rest of them who filed nomination papers, put them in Laventille, East and West, and all the PNM constituencies, because, PNM love them now.
Yes.
So let them,
put them there, let them vote for them. The thumping dress and all kind of thing for Rambly and so on. Put them in these constituencies to contest, and let's see what the PNM will say and do. I agree.
Put them there. Because PNM love them. They love them.
Conveniently, of
Lennox,
course.
Look at the massacre that took place over the last couple of days. Right? You're not hearing a word from the chamber, from the religious organization. Where is Pastor Doctor now? He went on a platform to run his mouth on Khadija Amin. Where is he now? But no, they're not seeing all those things, right? All their studies, Kamla must go. Kamla must call Natex, Kamla must call internal, Kamla must do this, Kamla must do that. Look at what Rowley and them do to this country. And not a word, not a single word.
Miss Santa Cruz, but by now, any rational, common sense, thinking individual that has sufficient experience, not necessarily longevity, but experience, would know that all of that is a concoction of the PNM propaganda machinery that will guide and nurture that. To the point where, of course, the intention is to make it appear as though there is some internal catastrophe within the UNC, and hoping to call elections in the midst of that. But that and that pink donkey they wouldn't see. But go ahead, my friend.
And you are right, You are right. They can call it whenever they call it. Mrs. Prasad-Bissessar is going to win it.
Yes.
She is going to win it because the crossover appeal that she has, the rest of them don't have it. And Lennox, I am telling you, I am very confident. Should elections go tomorrow morning, Kamla is going to win that election.
Of course.
Kamla is going to go into government.
Yes.
You hear? Because people are, and I sent you a post somebody put up on Facebook, right? People are clamoring. People are begging for the Indian woman to come back. That is how they refer to her.
Yeah.
They are clamoring for her to come back because what some of them are saying, along the East-West corridor, they never suffered under the Indian woman. And now look at how they are suffering. So Lennox, let them put that in the pipe and smoke it. All who want to get rid of Kamla, and as you rightly say, the PNM has a big hand in that. They have a big hand in that. Thanks a lot, Lennox, and have a good night.
Yeah, the tentacles, the poisonous tentacles
are everywhere.
The poisonous chalice is deep into that. It only has psychological value for them, the PNM, to make them feel as though they are doing something, because their Bamsi is now aching and, of course, palpitating. Palpitating profusely, because they know the outcome of that is blue lights and silver
silver
bracelets
bracelet,
for
but
them, Rowley and his entire cohorts. Go ahead.
before I go, you see, Imbert hired people to investigate the Auditor General report. Why did Imbert do that, Lennox? And I want to tell Silver Fox, they coward, they don't want to come out. Nobody want to come out. You know why they want Kamala to come out? Because it's Kamala alone it's affecting. It's not affecting them. You understand? So all of them sit down there and only about we're Kamala. Thanks a lot, Lennox.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But I want to say again, the application of common sense and reality will show that the present apparent upheaval within the UNC is a PNM construct. Not that these people are working for the PNM, not necessarily, but they have conducted themselves in such a way so that the PNM will feel comfortable to, of course, try to capitalize by, of course, one of the ways they are doing it by saying, no, it's not us. They are having their own, should I say, upheaval and antagonism on their very own. No, not at all. Nobody is stupid, but let's go to the lines. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Hey, Lennox.
Hey.
You hear me over there?
Loud and clear, my friend.
Right. Well, I tell you, every month, I have to walk home and walk back to work and all this thing. You'll be looking wrong and everybody that you watching,
they're that paranoid. It's paranoia coming into them. Paranoia collective, Yeah.
Remember, a man's face is here.
Yes.
Come to the every morning, I'm going to sit there young and even now. When I don't go each other, I want to come here.
Right.
And my father tell me, see what happened. I said, let me go good. He said, that is very good. Remember, your faith is you. And don't ever do anything to bring your face under scrutiny by nobody.
Right.
When I want to do like what Imbert and them doing there.
Right.
So when I walk in, they can't say, look at Cook. And all they can say is, look at them going there, boy. And them who say that,
Yeah.
You just say that with this case in them out there. Because them is them who couldn't mess around me at all. I tumble all of them.
Right.
To the pool, always calling, and he like, he's watching Parliament. I was watching Fox News with Joe Biden. When he walk in, they have people walking on the side there when he cameras can't see through to block out the man stumbling and falling down.
Right.
For him not to look so bad,
Right, yeah, obviously, to make the image,
Yes.
near perfect. Yes.
I sure right now, you must be saying now in that spot. There's somebody blocking it from Gatvidoria and all the rest of them. Because shame must be killing the bitch. Even for that, they're going to be shameful.
Yeah.
Because you get unmasked.
Yes, of course.
And all of them know he's a crook.
Yeah, there's nothing spectacular about them. There's nothing sacrosanct about them. It's a bunch of criminals. And then let's not waste time. Yes, yeah. And they would with a straight face would come once a mic is in front of them to try, of course, to engage in that camouflagery that clearly everybody has seen. Their petticoats have been exposed, and their jockeys are almost divested, so that of course you will see the anatomy of those despicable human beings. Yeah, that's the point I'm making. Expose the anatomy.
But every time you say that, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So the shit on the jaws.
Yeah. They defecate on themselves. Copoflogia.
To also them in the parliament. I showed the children in Matau from Gatsby and all the rest of them. Don't think that means they're not talking about themselves,
when they hear about all this money, and they may have no part in that.
No part to play in it, but
look
they
at
will,
all of you.
but have to take the responsibility as a collective. That is very difficult for any human beings, and they have the belly to take it, hoping somehow, because Rowley is trying to convince them that everything will be all right. Well, Hitler told all of his officers everything will be all right too.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. He tell them everything will be all right. When the Allies was bombing the place, just as Saddam Hussein, he tell them everything will be all right. The enemy cannot reach the gates of Baghdad. Next thing, you know, everybody who remained alive hightail out of Baghdad, including, of course, Saddam Hussein. They found him in a foxhole eventually.
But boy, that's me the only, and them was even say to themselves, all this big money talk going on here, we still only get 41,000.
Yeah.
They must be talking about that.
Of course, I as a human being, why must I participate in what clearly would have been a largesse that did not include me, but I am equally responsible and must defend that iniquity, that evil. No, I'm not doing that. I spilling the beans. But of course, these people are so stupid that whatever little pride they have and what little that they are getting, they will pretend to be comfortable. But at the end of the day, the entire caban, the entire monolithic evil called PNM will collapse. All of them.
I sure right now enough.
Yeah, go ahead, yes.
You see inside the house?
Yeah.
If you have electric outside, you must just through the window.
Of course.
You look along.
Yeah.
The shame of it. You know, I tell you something that's happened.
Of course.
The must go to planet all and the
Yeah, they can't take it. Nah, these fellas are different to Manning. Manning would have taken some kind of widow side if he was placed in handcuff. This fella Rowley will be going to jail and shouting, "It's not me, it's not me," and he go bring down the hills of Laventille. They waiting to take some good clout.
So you feel more capable should we play some suicidal watch by now?
Nah, they are different kettle of fish. They believe that the ill-gotten resources that they have could and their infiltration into what I consider to be the favor scenario, where they give people favor. They hope that they could call on them to, of course, return the favor, particularly persons in high offices that may not be targeted by the criminal justice and the civil justice system as they would. Yeah. That's my position, on that.
But they might get surprised,
Well, they don't expect, they believe that they can extricate themselves and therefore exculpate themselves from the criminal justice system. That is what they believe. Once they hold the office, as soon as it gets away from them, you see them like puppy dog and mongrels and mang dogs. Well, they have to face the public now, and they will try, of course, to stay inside as much as possible. But at the end of the day, blue lights will come knocking on their doors, and silver bracelets, of course, making a wedding, making a wedding of boat risk, silver bracelets.
Johnny Abraham was on my key program tonight.
Oh, I see.
And he make an appeal to the police because he know how frustrated he is too.
Right.
He tell them to hold on. Help coming. I want to figure out Johnny.
Yes, of course, help must come. Evil cannot prevail over good. That is how the law is, the rule is. They might appear so, and Hitler thought he would be there forever. Mussolini, Saddam Hussein, and we can go on and on. His history is replete with individuals like that. So too, Rowley telling himself now. So too, of course, is that guy in Venezuela talking about, of course, his good friend Maduro. Yes. All of those despotic, despicable individuals. Yeah, they believe that they could come to food. Yeah. So yeah, it's inevitable. Yeah. Yeah. Pandey, the kind of fella will go to jail and come out gracefully. Not these fellas. These fellas have lied to themselves for so long. They have lied to the people for so long, pretending to be what they are not. And then, and because that is their nature, while they would deny their reality and try to extricate themselves by deploying still, even though they do not have influence. We see that in Tobago. It's happening in Tobago, where they're trying, of course, to dominate. The PNM is trying to dominate in Tobago because they have put in place so much persons in strategic evil positions. But that is not being tolerated by Fali, and they are very frustrated, and they are crying wolf, and they are crying and hounding every day, but to no avail, because the time has come for them to make their exit and bury them, preferably forever, in the dustbin of history.
Let me make my last point,
Go ahead.
When agriculture man, they take 2 years to shake, you know.
Yeah.
That African man whole nervous system,
Yes.
Shake it up. I'm telling you, I watch him initially.
Yeah.
You know what that was done to heal, you know?
Yes.
At that age.
Yeah.
So I'm ready to go to jail. That's the way.
Child reverse psychology. It's a working.
Yes.
We want you to go to jail. All right. Another call is coming in. Yeah. Okay then. Let's go straight, of course, to the lines. Professor, good night. Professor, good night. We lost that one. All right. Call back, caller. Yes, indeed.
If I have to go to jail, come, I'm ready to go. Come, I'm ready to go. If I have to go to jail, come, I'm ready to go.
Yes, indeed. Let's go straight to the lines, of course. Professor, good night. Welcome.
Yeah, I called here to tell you that you should keep the gates locked on Rowley. But I was watching the conference that Imbert had.
Yeah.
And his face looked little bit, plenty dismal. His face was.
Yeah, just as Rowley, remember with the fake oil, how Rowley was looking, and when of course the Vincent Nelson matter, how Al-Rawi was looking and his children, and now it is Imbert's turn, to confess by pretending to be humble and displaying, of course, humility, when in fact he's waiting for the opportunity to pounce on unsuspecting the population if they only slip. Let's go ahead. Go ahead, my friend. Yes.
But what I want to say is this. Just now you said what? The Bamsi will be palpitating.
Yes.
I only hope it palpitate while you're outside. I mean, palpitate in jail, not outside, because you palpitate on people. So yes, let them do it in jail.
Yeah, but yes, palpitate in jail.
I don't like to turn this political thing into a joke, but you know.
Yes.
The real side of it is that, you know, they have not even made Trinidad and Tobago a proud state where we could be a proud state. None of them have that ability to really to do that.
That's right.
When I say a proud state, I mean taking people out of
poverty.
You know, this is,
out of the quagmire, they would have found themselves improving people's lives.
You know, I'm going down a different road now because you know I like to my last job, I was teaching young people in the school in up on the hill.
Yes, yes, yes.
Next to the building with Patrick Manning built, you know.
Yes.
So and that wasn't my only place that I work. I work like in White Up and that kind of thing. So
Okay.
you know, and I believe in taking people forward. But this bunch of people that you have now, they're not taking people forward at all. They just, you know.
In fact, they're
stealing
taking them
everything.
backwards. It's
Yeah,
Neanderthals
backwards.
we are dealing with. Neanderthals we are dealing with. Cavemen.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're going backward all the time and can't move from the amount of lies they have told over the years. You know, now it catch up with them.
Yes.
You know, and it cannot move the country forward.
Yes.
So the only thing to move the country forward is to get rid of them.
That's right. That's right. Pure and simple. Very simple.
Yeah.
And we have the duty and responsibility in our index fingers.
Yeah, that's right. And I only hope people in San Fernando listening to me, you know, because
Yeah, I'm sure that they are across the country because each one of us must be advocates for decency, transformation, and the elimination of the evil that is the Rowley administration.
Yeah, and I like the contribution that Akola, that is a woman, she made tonight. I like the contribution she made.
Okay.
You know, and we should all be going down that line, making positive contributions to develop Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes. All right.
Right?
Thank you very much.
So,
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Thanks.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for your contribution. We have another caller there. Let me
All
see. Yes. Let me see if we can get Mr. Seeing something as Mr. Tanapuna. Let's see, Mr. Tanapuna. You have to call back, Mr. Tanapuna. I did something wrong on the handset, but of course, I love this because I mean it brings joy to my heart to know that retribution is possible with these vipers that are pretending to be government and governance. Let's go.
If I have to go to jail, come, I'm ready to go.
Yes, indeed. Just now, you will get your chance. Be careful what you hope for. But let's go to the lines. A pleasant good night.
Good night, Lennox.
Yes.
To the Pura, you're taking a second by brother.
Yes, go ahead.
Lennox, I saw on the news tonight that they have somebody, a proposed buyer for the Arcelor Steel Mill Company, right? And I saw I don't know if they still existing, the president of the Steelworkers Union is saying, you know, because when Arcelor Mittal left here, they didn't pay the workers and them their separate money and whatnot, you know.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, yes.
Right?
And the government took a hands-off approach.
I want to know what the Minister of Labor then, which was what's her name again?
Jennifer
Primus.
yes.
Yeah. What they did for labor, for these people, did they try to get these people money? Now you have a Minister of Labor there, McClatchy. What they did for these workers, but according to the president of the Workers Union, he's asking the question of what are the terms of condition that these new people who will be taking over the steel mill in terms of gas pricing and electricity pricing, you know?
Yeah.
Because right now, remember a lot of businesses close down in Point Pleasant because of the gas pricing. Yeah. And now the electricity.
Could you hold on, Ms. Santa Cruz? Just hold on.
Sure.
Yeah, until the conclusion of Mr. Tanapuna's contribution. Go ahead.
So
I'll call back, Lennox. I'll call back.
All right, okay then. Okay.
They're asking me to pay more for electricity rate. But we don't know what agreement they have in terms of gas pricing, which we see that resulted in a number of businesses closing now, foreign investors in Point Lisa going back. And then you have the domestic rate for electricity, which we now have to pay a price. But Lennox, I want to ask you something, friend. I want you to do a real investigation into this for me. This is something very critical. Naikwan, Massey, Republic Bank. If there is some collusion, and with Robert Riley and all of them, involved in some conspiracy. And I'll tell you why I say that. You remember when they had the explosion?
Yeah.
And the guy died. Senator Wayne Mack asked the Stuart Young, Minister of Energy, how come all you could grant these people license to reopen back this thing? And, you know, whether this was done to get them a clean bill of health and what other thing. And Stuart Young say, that is a private company. I don't know if you recall that. He said that is a private company and we cannot have any interference in that. I want to just draw your attention on Lennox. Listen to me carefully, Trinidad and Tobago.
Following an overturned
Republic
barge in February,
Bank.
which caused an oil spill in Tobago.
You hear me, Lennox?
Yes, go ahead, loud and clear.
Right.
Government approached the
Republic
International
Bank,
Oil
man. No,
Pollution
Massey has
Compensation Fund, which Trinidad
some
and Tobago
investment
was
in
a member
Naikwan.
of up until 2018.
Republic Bank
Restructuring of
has
Petrochem
some investment in Naikwan. And I am also seeing, I read an article on the paper with the National Insurance Fund, our National Insurance, excuse, have some investment in massive operation, you know?
Massey's?
Yeah, in Massey. The National Insurance Fund has some investment in Massey. This is why you see, and the one drawing reference to you is Naikwan, Massey, Republic of, and remember Republic Bank is state-owned now, eh?
Yes,
because
yes.
they take it over from Pico.
Yeah, yeah.
And you see this connection, and then you remember Robert Riley and all of them fellas, who was it, the energy company and what other thing. All of them fellas and them now with Massey. In addition to that, you know, it begs the question, National Gas Company and Massey and all of them have some joint business venture. So Republic Bank, which is state-owned, has investment in Naikwan, and Massey has investment in our NIB board money. Lennox, this is a real something that taking place here, and with Robert Riley and all these fellas and then. Because within recent time, if you saw the amount of resignation coming from Massey,
yes.
Because these fellas and then tell themselves that this thing going to, because what I'm put tying all this up to is with respect to the Auditor General report, you know, Lennox.
Yes, yes.
All this thing is a whole charade, a mafia connection of all these players, you know, Massey, Republic Bank, Naikwan, together with our state resource, which is Republic Bank money, or was, and National Insurance Board funding, and then Robert Riley and them, all of these fellas and them. There have to be some investigation into this whole operation with all these players like all in Lennox, for us to get a true picture of what is taking place. And all these are the perpetrators of undermining the economy and our foreign reserves. Because one of the things that I heard Mr. Tanko mention is that this is the second collision course that Colmebot had with the Auditor General. The first was an issue with the Heritage and Stabilization Fund.
Yeah.
Because it seemed they never put in no money. What they were doing, they were borrowing money on the external, going over the extended thing to borrowing and putting money back into the Revenue and Stabilization Fund to make it look like, you know, things was going good and the revenue and the and everything was on course.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. Okay, then.
So I wanted to get if you could do an
yes, I certainly will.
Right?
Yes, we'll do that.
Okay,
Thanks.
okay.
Yes. Let's go straight to Miss Santa Cruz. Pleasant good night. Sorry about the delay, Miss Santa Cruz, but go ahead.
Hi, Lennox.
Yes, go ahead.
Good night again. Good night.
Yes.
All right. Lennox,
Yes.
this morning, I have to say this first. I have to say this first.
Go ahead.
This morning, when I listened to Mikey Mrs. Colin, you know, I was ready to pass the basket when Mikey was finished.
Yes.
Mikey was sounding as though he was on a pulpit.
On the
You
pulpit,
understand?
yes. Devil's
I
advocate.
had the basket ready to pass. You know, Lennox, I resent you. I resent you an article concerning a PNM councillor, Kwesi Antoine, where allegations were made against him sometime in March when he went into Malik, I think it's St. Teresa's Church or somewhere in Malik, right? And threatened some youths that were there. And he told them, I didn't come to talk, allegedly. Let me put it like, I didn't come to talk, I come to shoot. I want to know what and get away with it. Why is he still a councillor? Why was he take disciplinary action taken against him? But they feel they can do what they want, for how long they want, and when they want. If somebody in the UNC, had done something like that, you would have heard them.
Oh, yes.
You would have heard them.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
You would have threatened the youths and them that they were pelting stones or whatever, right? It's the same thing happened with a former deputy mayor, I think Valentine was his name, shoot after somebody in town. What became of that case? You see, that is why we keep saying, what PNM don't investigate PNM, and once they are there, Lennox, the only way to investigate them is to get them out. Is to get them out of there. Because the DPP is just as bad. Thanks a lot, Lennox. Take care.
Indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Of course, them fellas must be living in jail. Must be living in jail. There's no two ways about it. And what sweetened goat mouth will always be sour in the bam bam. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes. We must understand that there's nothing sacrosanct about them. And we must tell it as it is, and we must tell them and make them understand that we know what they are all about. You cannot use the offices that you were sacredly and, of course, religiously and conscientiously the population handed to you to manage our affairs, and then you turn out to be an extremely perfidious group of individuals, betrayers, and you must not benefit, cannot benefit. Thursday, people, Brad Lara Promenade, from 1 o'clock, all of us will descend in defense of the Auditor General. Ibsberg could manufacture what he wants now. It's ocious and irrelevant. Nobody takes them seriously. That they are a lame duck administration. And they must understand that they are no good to anyone, and our tolerance has reached the zenith, and that their efforts to hoodwink, to deceive, has reached a stage of being ad nauseum sickening, as they lie and deceive to avoid what? Jail. Jail. And they must be living in jail. It's going to happen because evil simply cannot prevail. And we will not allow evil to prevail over good. This evil son of a guns. Son of a guns. Yes.
Everybody talking about freedom, but it's like everybody blind. If you think we living in freedom, the freedom only in your mind. Everywhere I look, criminals and crook, terrorizers they run amok, while for you and me, behind lock and key, moving wrong like if we in shop. We living in jail. We living in jail. While criminals out on bail, honest men catching their tail in their homemade jail. You can't walk the streets no more. You afraid to open your door like we fighting war. We living in jail. We living in jail. Freedom gone clean out of we control. Watch the houses you have to build. Burglar proof iron doors and people. And a high concrete wall still. Your notes in a mess. You have to eat less. And it's not that the times are so hard, but you have to spend to feed about 10. Doberman that guard in your yard. We living in jail. We living in jail. Look, even the old and frail people see to no avail. It's a sad tale.
If I have to go to jail,
Your TV and videotape, they take and before escape.
if I have to go to jail, come, I ready to go to jail.
Living in jail. Costume jewelry is the fashion. Cause them criminals get so bold. They will
If I have to go to jail,
and take your silver and gold. Avoid lash.
Yes,
Always
indeed,
have
people.
some cash.
We must face the
Because
reality
when they commit their crime and don't get
that is
enough,
Trinidad and Tobago today.
it's shop.
And don't forget, of course, Thursday from 1 o'clock, we must demonstrate that there is an imperative to get rid of this dastard group of individuals who have mismanaged, disturbed our psyche, and ruthlessly invaded our treasury. Professor, good night. Professor, good night. Yes,
I want to send a message. I want to send a message to Trinidad and Tobago.
go
Why
ahead.
the PNM keep Rowley and the ministers and them taking our money and banking it here, there, and everywhere, and people suffering and dying in this country? They just kill our youth man down on my head right here, you know. Drive-by
Wow.
shooting.
Well, there's a several, I think, in the Port of Spain area as well. I mean, in North, I should say North. Because you are in
Look at
South.
that tomorrow morning with anything.
All right. Wow.
Because I called my friend and I forgot what happened, man. She said she can't talk right now because the amount of people around. Because
Yeah.
I nothing from she got there. So she wanted to talk, so we talk around with the people. So she said she can go talk tomorrow and you know,
Okay.
and that same guy traveled to make us Saturday go on the city body.
Wow.
And just talking about some party. I think I'm planning for the fee, the people and this and that, and money involved and this and that. I see, I see this man traveling like a Saturday going by.
Hmm.
And I'm
Evil
Trinidad
has
and Tobago.
invaded Trinidad and Tobago. Evil
Lennox,
has, yes, has
blessed night, blessed
engulfed,
night.
yes, the same to you, has engulfed the country. Everything is failure. You talking about what Asara Metal or the sale for the scrap heap in Point Lisas, the iron and steel company or the iron and steel facility, whether it be the oil refinery, is irrelevant. What is relevant is that Rowley and they must get to hell out of office. That is what has to happen. And face the consequences. All the talk, and all the braggadocio, only because they are in those offices. As soon as they get out, somebody talk about palpitating backsides. Well, I use the term deliberately. Usually you use palpitation with respect to your heart, but that is too much of a significant organ to refer to them as palpitating. But what I'm sure of, that as their backsides palpitate and as they engulf themselves in paranoia, and as blue lights and silver bracelets engulf them and encircle them, the relevance of palpitation, whether it's backside heart or otherwise, will come to be real as they, at the present time, deceive themselves into believing that somehow they are untouchable, that they will be able to exculpate and, of course, exonerate themselves because they control the institutions, including that of the president. Well, I say to you, the ultimate arbiter, the ultimate judge, you and I, with our index fingers, young people, as I close tonight, and as your 18th birthday becomes real this year, and early next year, the country you are required to save is your own. Your future depends on you getting your ID card, which automatically becomes your mechanism for voting, and get out there. Forget borderline. I know that will be suppressed, if only to ensure that the Rowley administration, wicked, diabolical, and evil as it is, to exit with, of course, disgrace, blue lights, and silver bracelets. People, we have come, of course, to the end. Is 1 minute past 10 o'clock. And I trusted that the graphic way that I decided to present tonight's presentation will resonate with you, because I'm sure you cannot forget those images that you would have seen tonight. It is deliberated that I kept them there, and then, of course, project to you the huge, monolithic, massive evil and wickedness that is Rowley and they, who have poisoned government and have, of course, weaponized the cabinet against the people for their own aggrandizement and to the detriment and the retrogression of the people of Trinidad, particularly the working class that are in the masses. East-West Corridor, I call on you. Not a damn seat for them. The seat that must be called first is Diego Martin West as a symbol to symbolize that never again the PNM that must be relegated to the dustbin of political history in this country. Don't take heed. Don't take heed and continue to be complacent and tolerant when your recalcitrance and your inability to preserve Trinidad and Tobago for the future generation, your conscience you will have to live with. Have a wonderful rest of the night. God bless. Don't forget tomorrow morning, the ground report, Andy, Mikey, and myself, as we continue with these and other issues towards, of course, Thursday in particular at 1 o'clock. We have a rendezvous with, of course, history and the singular and seminal imperative to save Trinidad and Tobago from this marauding bunch of criminals, miscreants notwithstanding. Yes, indeed. Have a wonderful one. God bless. I'll see you tomorrow night on the corridor.
Like we fighting war. We living in jail. We living in jail. Freedom gone clean out of we control. Watch the houses you have to build. Burglar proof iron doors and people. And a high concrete wall still. You're not in a mess. You have to eat less. And it's not that the times are so hard, but you have to spend to feed about 10. Doberman that guard in your yard. We living in jail. We living in jail. Look, even the old and frail beg mercy to no avail. It's a sad, sad tale. Your TV and videotape, they take, and before escape, they look into rape. We living in jail. We living in jail.
Kaiso. And this is how the story goes. I went to public utilities and tell them disconnect them facilities, cause me want them. I tried to contact the ombudsman, but never in office. Are going to file me an injunction on the public service. Cause every time a heavy rain fall, I me don't have no current at all. They spoil me TV, they spoil me fridge. They nearly kill me with low voltage. Now before they make me a lunatic, I'm going back to basic. I'm going and get a flambeau and lamp with wick. I'm going back to basic. I call me fans and I call me friends to let them know that if they have a message to send, tell Tempo. And if they come home and they see me, tell me neighbor, or get a pen and a writing pad. and write a letter. Cause VSTT does make me weep. Gone are the days when old talk was cheap. I make a phone call to Talparo and I get a phone bill to Mexico. Oh my lad, before they kill me and kill me quick, I'm going back to basic. A piece of marling and two climpan couldn't do the trick. I'm going back to basic.
If I have to go to jail, if I have to go to jail,
I went and buy me a motor car for my own comfort, because I can't take no more torture waiting on transport. But all them potholes and all them bump, me car ain't able until they invent a car to jump. I go travel. I beg the Lord to please put a hand, touch the hearts of this spare parts man. I used to have a raise in the bank, now every cent gone in me gas tank. Now I prefer roller with piece of sticker. Going back to basic. Buy a 3-speed bike, going tick tick tick. I'm going back to basic.